Hello, everybody. Byron Ingram here, author, speaker, podcaster. Today, we're going to talk about why emails are currency, and we have to change how we perceive them because this is just a simple thing that we have to do in today's world. Because otherwise, guess what happens? We don't achieve the results that we truly want to do, and that doesn't help us at all in the least bit possible. So, give me a second here while I share this out and share a couple of little thoughts in this process here. So, if you think about emails, what is it that we do? We give them out freely, or you go to a website and say, hey, get my offer. I'd love to have your email address and you can get this. Well, what does that do? And how many times have you gotten something and they spam the living crap out of you? Well, you see, that's when people, they don't respect what emails are, and that's currency. And why is that? It's actually pretty simple. I want you to think about it for a moment. When you go to the store and you buy something, what do? In exchange for giving them money, they're giving you a product. And most people, they're not going to buy something that's junky. It's like, I'm just going to blow my money on this thing. I know it's going to fall apart 5 seconds after I walk out the front door. You're not doing that. What actually happens is you're looking for the best deal, the best bargain for something that's of high quality. Yet when we're looking at what we're creating in terms of, products that we want people to get emails for, it's not always the same. So guess what ends up happening? Not a whole lot. People subscribe to your email list. They look at what you have and say, you know what? This really isn't that good. So what happens next? They unsubscribe. They don't tell their friends. And then they put you on the spam list. And next, you're having to deal with that. And that doesn't help you at all. So what does this mean you should be doing? Well, the first thing, it's making a declaration. And that's deciding for yourself that you're no longer going to tolerate putting out a crappy product. You're going to put out something that's powerful. You're going to put out something that's going to make sense, something that represents you. Because you see, you're growing a business. You're growing your brand. You are your brand, especially as an entrepreneur. So you want to make sure that it represents you properly. So if you're going to ask for somebody's email address, you need to treat each one, let's say, as a $100 bill. Because then it's a lot different than, let's say, you're picking up a nickel or a quarter. How many times have you been walking along the street, you see some change lying on the ground, like, I'm not going to stop because it's a penny. Well, if you treat your business as a penny, people are going to keep on walking past it nonstop. And that's not what you want to do. Because you want people to say, you know what? This makes sense. I want to have this product in my life. So what does that mean that you need to do? That means you actually need to change how you're going about doing things. So you actually have to step up and change things a little bit. So how do you go about doing that? First, like I said, imagine that each email address is a $100 bill. Just kind of visualize you have a $100 bill stapled next to each single one of them. That's the first thing. Then you have to think about it. If you were to pay $100 for something, what is it that you'd be willing to part with that money for? And if it's not something that you created, like you don't feel that it's worth $100, then stop. So you have to roll back the clock. Think about what is it that people will buy with that. It's as simple as that. See, this is going to change your perspective of what you need to be doing in terms of product creation to be able to get people onto your list, to get people to want to do business with you because you're upping the game. See, a lot of people are just going to put out garbage because they figure if they put out enough stuff, they're going to still get people who want to say yes to them, but they're not going to get the masses to say yes because people are going to get on it once and that's it. You see, it's all about the relationship, and the more valuable the relationship, the more emphasis in terms of quality you have to put into that product. Think about the number of businesses over the years that have put out quality products that are still around. Now think about the number of businesses that have put out something that was just pure crap. How many of them are still around today? Not that many. Because people talk about it. Because remember, people love to talk about things they have a great experience with, but you better believe it. Things that are negative go that much faster, and especially with this world of social media. People will tell their friends, hey, don't get this because they're going to spam you. There's groups out there, they will out people left and right, and you don't want to fall into that category. You want people to say, you are the go-to person for this type of support. You want people to know that you put out quality things that are truly helpful. So that's how you start doing things to stand out in the marketplace. They're treating it like it's a $100 bill. Remind yourself that everything you're doing, that email address you want, it's worth that $100. So then it changes that perspective. And here's something else that you must be able to do in this process here. It's not just take that $100 and run. Think about it as they are now investing in you. It's that start of the relationship. You want to ensure that when people say yes to what you're putting out there, they're going to be willing to buy more. And how do you do that? You have to court them. You have to give them something of quality that makes them hungry. So they say, wow, this was valuable to me. I'm so glad I gave you my email address. I'm willing to write another check. Whether that's attending a webinar, it's joining a challenge, it's joining a Facebook group, and so on. You want to constantly be thinking about how is it that you can treat that relationship as it's money, not just as a name. It's that person, and they're holding out their Visa or MasterCard saying, I'm willing to buy from you if you give me something worth buying. Keep that in the back of your mind, and that's going to keep you focused on what you need to create in order for you to move ahead. So I hope you found this valuable today. And do me a huge favor. Go ahead and hit that share button, because there's someone out there who needs to hear this message today, which is going to truly help them in their business. So do me that huge favor and just go ahead and share out there, and then leave a comment below and tell me what you thought about this and how you can be able to shift your perspective to be able to increase the number of people that opt in to your message, because you reminded yourself of something simple, that emails are currency and they have value. Have an amazing day.